Hey everybody, it's Shafin here. I haven't posted a video in a little while, so I wanted to come on here and kind of talk about the markets for a moment. God bless everybody. Thank you for tuning in. So today I want to talk about two things. One, the market, where it's at. Is it crashing? Is it going higher? We don't know. This is something that I personally have really had to seek the Lord in reference to this, because you've got a lot of people out there right now saying that the markets are going to crash before they go higher, and you've got a lot of people out there also saying that no, the markets are going to go higher before they crash. So let's talk about it for a minute. This season of crypto and of all finances is different than it's been before. So there's two sides we got to look at. The first side is going to be, what have the markets traditionally done and where would they normally be right now? The second is, because we have been led here, I've been led here by the Lord, you've been led to my channel by the Lord, and we're all kind of riding this thing out together. We're a small remnant of people, of believers, that are trusting the Lord for a mighty wealth transfer for a great revival at the end of days, which we are very fast approaching. So let's look at the technical side of it first. So you guys know the term sell in May and look away. A lot of people have said that. I've heard it, you've heard it. So the reason that's said, if you look over charts traditionally, and I wish I could share a screen right now, but if you go and look at the pattern, go like to all under one of the charts, you'll see how there's a spike, and then it'll kind of come down, and then there's a secondary spike, and then it'll kind of come down, and then it'll level out for 2 to 3 years before the pattern repeats. Now, back in 2021, the spike was so big because we had COVID and the everything that led up to that. We had that kind of like dip from the scare, and then interest rates were dropped. Money was pumped into the system, and you just saw a massive, it floored up. So we don't have money going in the system like that. However, from all that money, there is a lot of money sloshing around kind of back and forth in the system. The Fed isn't really removing a ton of it. They've raised rates and some of it's kind of coming out, but there's so much money in the system. I personally thought the markets were going to collapse, back in 2022, and they're going down. I was like, here we go, because we've got a long way to go down. Guys, if you look at companies like Nvidia and other companies like that, it's ridiculous, the valuations. I mean, there's got to be a correction soon. This stuff can't keep going up forever. And I've asked the Lord, how is this possible? But it's the money that's in the system. So we don't have money being injected like we did in 2021, but we have the money from 2021 still in the system. So, and during that time, we were coming out of COVID. There was a lot of money, so we saw these great spikes. Today, we have a system that is very fragile, and there's a lot of people that have got out of the markets completely, out of the stock market. You look at Warren Buffett, you look at all these other investors, and guys, these people are wise. They know what they're doing when it comes to markets and investing. So they pulled out. Why? Because they see a crash coming. Now, it's different because of the quantitative easing and the money printing. They're probably like, why hasn't this crash happened yet? So it's gonna go longer and longer based just on the technical analysis side. So sell in May and look away. So we don't have quite as much money that's being freshly injected, but we do have the money from 2021. I believe we're gonna pull back. I personally have sold a lot of my holdings. I was in profit and I took profit, and nobody ever went broke by taking profit. Now, that's scary to do when you know the prophetic numbers they're going to. And if you talk to the Lord and he says, just hold on and you can get some extra money on the sidelines to buy, do that. Everybody's instructions are different. We're called to different things. The Lord has called me mainly to be an evangelist above all things, and I'm going to seek that and do that with all of my heart. Something I wear around all the time is my bracelet. I don't know if you guys can see that. It says, Jesus. Amen. It says Jesus. So based on technical analysis, right now, we're due for a pullback. I mean, We are. That we're due for a crash. And you got to look at those things, because God gives us wisdom and he tells us to use wisdom. We cannot fly just on this guy's word and that guy's word alone. So with all of that analysis, if you look to what all the other guys are doing, yes, it's time to take some profit and kind of back away. This is not financial advice. This is my recommendation, or really not even a recommendation. I'm just sharing what I'm doing. So 75%, I've kind of backed away. I still hold some XLM and some Shiva and some Luna Classic. I don't hold any XRP anymore. I've sold it, and part of me is like, why did I sell it? I actually converted it to XLM, then I sold it. So I took a little bit of a loss there, but I still am in profit. Now let's look at the prophetic. The Lord, and here's the thing, guys, we don't know if people are hearing from the Lord or they're hearing from the enemy pretending to be the Lord. So we don't know that, because we only know our own walk. That's why we must go back to the Lord. And it's true, he doesn't always give us answers. And when he doesn't give you an answer, I want to remind you, that means maybe you're doing exactly what he wants you to do. If you're not getting further instructions, listen to your heart, listen to your spirit. And I know it's hard if you feel like you need to sell, but you know where it's going. That's a tough place to be. So then don't sell, But for me, I see a massive correction coming. It's way overdue. It's way overdue. And historically, the month of June and July has not been very good for crypto. So if you look at that, there's that. Again, on the prophetic side, we have a lot of people saying markets are fixing to rally to the moon, $800 XLM. By the way, the other day I did want to, this is kind of a side note, I did click on Brother Greg, Prophetic Insight, and when I clicked on his video, it said 888 views, and it immediately hit my spirit. So it's just another confirmation that I believe XLM is going to 888. That's what I felt when I saw that. So on the other side, so we have people saying sell and people saying hold. So what do you do with that? What you do with that is you pray and you ask the Lord. I know there's going to be a crash. You guys know there's going to be a crash. We know that's coming. And it's a scary thing to hold on knowing that's coming and to watch numbers temporarily dip. So just to kind of summarize the video, I wanted to give you all my views, my points on it, what I'm personally doing right now. I follow Money on the Move more than other channels, and the reason that I do that is because I've been following Phil for a very long time. Back in 2022, I was looking at his videos, and he said the bull run's turned on. Now's the time to get into crypto. And I looked at every timeline of what the Lord has spoken to him, and it happened. And that's how I know he hears from the Lord. Now, as far as Ryan, he seems like he's got a great spirit. I've made some comments. I'm in the Patreon. Ryan, if you're watching this, we don't know yet. But from what you've told me, I believe you are hearing from the Lord. Phil's has been tested, and I believe his discernment is good. So I'm going to continue to follow them and to trust in the Lord. I know they're not giving me financial advice either. Ultimately, these are my decisions I'm making free and clear. So, yep, that's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this gave you something. You know my position. I'm backing out for now. I'm kind of waiting, and I'm looking to buy back in when it drops. God bless you. Talk to you all later. Bye-bye.